All right. Hey, is this working? Oh, crap. No, don't do this. Not now. Is the mic working? Nope, nope, nope. Crap. Can you all not hear me? Oh, good. You can hear me. Woo! I was about to say, hold on. I am showing nothing working, and I do not know why. It's not registering that my mic is working. So thank you, Magician Girl, for letting me know that you all can hear me. Whoo! I thought we done screwed up 2 weeks in a row. That was going to suck. Awesome. All right, Teradar, welcome. Good to see you again, man. Magician Girl, good to see you. Thank you for showing up. Jade, good to see you. I got my coffee here, which, you know what? One tick. Okay, that's better. All right, much better. Now I look a bit more like me, don't it? Let's see what we got in here. Luna, good to see you. Cher, always good to see you. Hey, Tara, man. I've actually had an awesome week here. I really have. And yes, laugh at me all you want. I totally bolted to get the hat. Ooh, hold on. Okay, that's gonna bug me. I can't have an ugly spot back there. That would just drive me. I have a small OCD side, just a little one. All right. And goodbye hair. Well, if y'all haven't noticed, I'm growing my hair back out. It's kind of at that spot where it's going to look bad no matter what I do. Well, yeah, that's good coffee tonight. Hey, look, hair and everything today. Yep, hair and everything. Let's see what we got here. This guard is immortal. Let's see. This guard is immortal asks, can you talk about some cool astral realm experiences you've had? Yeah, actually, sure. The first one that pops to my mind, man, is I actually did some work in Svartalfheim. And the entire point of this section of the path working and walking the different 9 realms was not only to meet the dwarves and get to know them and friend them, but also to learn very specific crafting techniques from them. And many of you know I'm not very crafty, I'm not very artistic or anything. And one of the things that they helped me to learn to do is to do like this gorgeous stoned antiquing work to resurface some different pieces in the house. I have a wheel of the year that I can turn depending on the season. And it was in this really just ugly coppery brass color that I don't like. Y'all know the color. Most of the statuary and metaphysical shops has this color to it, but it sticks out like a sore thumb here in our house. And I was always trying to find a stone one. So they actually walked me through the process and everything, and they had me doing it there in their realms, teaching me with me. And then I brought those skills back, and I actually applied them to 2 pieces here in the house. One is a dragon plaque that represents balance, and the other was the wheel of the year. Um, when I took pictures of them and showed my friends, they did not believe I painted them. They're like, "You're not that artistic. You can't do that." So that one was really, really cool for me. On top of that, they did help me a lot with different magical item crafting and stuff like that. So that was definitely one that I absolutely loved. Absolutely. Um, and they did help me to lay out a design plan for an evocation board, which I haven't actually taken the time to build yet. I've been so swamped, but that's definitely on my to-do list. So that would be definitely one big one. Let's see here. I'm glad you liked the backdrop tonight. I realized I hadn't changed the backdrop. It's been the same because of just my shooting schedule. It's like I think the last 2, 3 streams, it's been the same runic circle, which I love that particular runic circle, but I figured change it up at least for the stream. So I just grabbed one and threw it up, and I got to say I like it too. I picked a good one tonight, or fate picked a good one, however you want to look at it. What's this magician girl? Small OCD. You say, oh, well, just a smidgen, just a smidgen. I'm sure some people might say it's more than a smidgen, but it depends on how you measure your smidgens and your pinches. Bestest Wolf, welcome. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Tara, dwarves are actually a lot of fun to work with. You got to be careful. If you offend them in some way, they can get a little grumpy and or just toss you out. But they are a lot of fun. I have enjoyed every time I've gotten to work with the Svartalfheim. They've been a lot of fun. They've been really good hosts. And when it comes to craftsmanship and teaching crafting work and artistic work, they're absolutely great. And anytime I have a project or design that I'm having trouble with, I always go to them. They can really help me figure out the details of it. And often they can even help me figure out how to put something together when I just can't conceive of it. I'll go with them with an idea, and it's like, here's what I'm wanting to do. I have no idea how to do it. They will help lay it out for me. So let's see. Is it David? What have you worked with Freya in the past for? What can she teach others, and how does she help? Well, one thing is you have to understand the Norse gods. Well, this actually goes for any god by and large. They're not limited to only these little labels we want to put on them. They can help you with pretty much anything. So, but for me personally, me and Freya have worked on trance work, journey work, soul travel, seethe work, which is a form of trance work. But she has been a wonderful instructor in magic and seethe work for me, as well as shadow work. She's also helped me in areas of physical rehabilitation from injuries and stuff because she is a warrior goddess. A lot of people tend to forget about that. So she's been really helpful in those areas with me. She's also been very helpful with relationships because I have noticed where I do come from a bit of a combative background, would be a nice way of saying it. I do view the world through a certain lens that a lot of people don't understand, and that's caused some communication issues. So she's really helped me bridge those gaps and those understandings and helped me to gain some insights and wisdoms there, which that I've actually used to help military members as well who are going to civilian life or just dealing with their day-to-day issues as well. So I do get a lot of help from Freya anytime I'm working with military members or military spouses to help bridge that gap because she is great with those factors. So those are a few things I've gotten help with. She is also great in helping with just relationships in general. She's also great for self-sufficiency and independence. She's not big on the ideal of you relying on someone else. She doesn't like that. I hope that answers some of your questions, Naveed. Have you ever encountered any talking animal spirits or gods in the astral realm? Gods, in general, I've encountered lots of them, depending on where I was and what I was doing. I've encountered lots of different gods, Egyptian, Norse, Greek. I've even encountered a few deities from both the Japanese and the Indian pantheons. Not worked a lot with the Japanese and the Indian, just a little bit of the Japanese, even less of the Indian. But anytime I encounter them, I always treat them with respect. Animal spirits, oh yeah, I've ran into lots and lots of animal spirits, and some talk, some do not. Some choose more emotional communication, some choose more telepathic communication. But many of them do choose to actually use a vocal kind of talking. As weird as it may say, I almost prefer the ones that speak telepathically, just because there's something unsettling for me when a cat starts talking. And at the time, we owned cats. So it kind of made me paranoid that my wife's cats were just going to be sitting there at the end of the bed one morning and be like, hey, where's my food, buddy boy? Get up. I'm hungry. So that was a little bit of an unsettling thought process that would appear because of that. And I know that's just a goofy thing, but it really did. That's a thought that occurred to me. It's like, what if my wife's cats start doing this? What am I going to do then? So I have encountered some animal spirits like that. But I would say the more common, and this is, I haven't actually taken a poll, but off the top of my head, it feels like the more emotional communication and telepathic seems to be more common in my experience. So, good question, though. I see we got 17 people in here already watching. If you haven't already, do smash the like button. It lets YouTube know you like the work we're doing, and it helps the algorithm share the video, let more people see it, get this information out to more people, find the channel, so we can reach more people and help more people, because that's why we're here. Okay, let's see what we got. Do you plan to visit the dwarves again soon? And if you do, can you show them the ultimate dwarf song, Diggy Diggy Hole? It's amazing. I'd have to look the song up, Terror. Peachy, if you can make a note to remind me to look that song up, I'd appreciate that. Okay. And depending on what that song is, I may show it to them. They do enjoy a good song. They like their music, no doubts. So, yes. But actually, I was planning on visiting Svartalfheim here soon, ironically. So, yeah. Actually, this week, I started the next Cliff-Othic Sphere, and I've been working with Ball a lot. Somehow or another, all the times I've worked with him, somehow I've missed the fact that he relates to warriors and is a warrior god. I do not know how I missed that, but that's one of the first things he brought up this time, and I was like, huh, well, that would explain why you and I get along so well. So it's been an interesting week there. I know that during this section of the Cliff-Othic path working, I'm also supposed to work with the Dark Venus, which I'm going to admit I don't know jack about. So I'll be going in very blind to that particular section, which is kind of exciting to me. I'm really looking forward to that part. Y'all know anytime there's a section I really don't know anything about, that's when I get excited because there's so much to learn there. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. Naveed, every pantheon has its own little creation story, and that does get very complicated because creation, this is how it was explained to me from multiple pantheons, is the creation lore tells the story of creation in the viewpoint and understandable storyline, parable-like method that is comprehensible to humans. So it is not meant to be interpreted literally. That is the reason we do see some differentials, but we also see some similarities. So in the creation myth for the Norse in particular, the primal elements of fire and ice from the realms of Muspelheim and Niflheim actually met in the great void of Gunungagap. And it is from here that the first life sprung forth, which was the giant Ymir and a cow, actually, if I remember correctly. And I'm paraphrasing this. And then from that, and from Ymir, the first life, the gods and everything sprung forth from Ymir. But I would highly recommend looking up the Norse creation myth. But again, this is a parable of how it all took place and how it all happened. It's not to be taken literal. And that goes the same for all creation myths. Let's see, Terry, does the astral realm feel like our world, or does it feel totally different? Depends on where you are, Hescord. It depends on where you are. Now, first off, you have to understand the astral plane is only one plane in the multiverse. It's only one. The astral plane itself actually feels, it does not feel like ours. It actually feels very shadowy, very intangible. It's always in shift. It's always in motion. It's almost like the entire plane is crafted from fog and shadows to mirror the planes that it overlaps, and which is far more than just our plane. Other planes, it depends on what plane you're on as to what they feel like. Some of them do actually feel very tangible and feel very much like ours. And then some of them feel very tangible, but can also differ based on them. So like the plane of fire, for example. If you soul travel to the primal plane of fire, you will find that the rock and everything feels extremely tangible and feels very much like rock. Similar to what we have here in some places, not all places. There's some rocks that are very alien. Though you will find the temperature very, very freaking high compared to our plane because it's the freaking plane of fire, right? And then in the primal plane of water, you will find structures and reefs and rock and sand and bedrock that are reminiscent of Earth. But you will also find things that are very alien in comparison. Some of the coral reefs and structures that you'll find in the elemental plane of water are just beyond gorgeous. I studied marine biology for a very long time, and I have seen some absolute gorgeous coral reefs. And to this day, the ones here on Earth don't cease to amaze me, but I have not encountered anything like what I've seen in the primal plane of water. So I hope that helps. See what we got here. See, the middle version is so energetic. Okay. Lauren, welcome. Glad you can make it. Good to see you. Naveed, how much do you charge for one-on-one tutoring? When I have spots that are open, Naveed, it's the way I do it is it's an apprenticeship program. And I usually do it on a monthly payment of $50 a month with 2 one-hour classes each month with me. Currently, I do not have any open spots, and there's actually a waiting list. I wish I was lying. I did not think I'd be that popular of a bloke. So I'm hoping I can have some spots opened up late next year, but we'll have to see. We did just recently have 2 people withdraw from the waiting list. And they said they might come back on later, but for right now, they're going to I think they want to study more of a traditional Wicca, which is not something I particularly teach. And I understood that, and that's cool. So that does shorten the waiting list a little. And I wouldn't be surprised if they also dropped off just because of how long the waiting list is getting. And so, but yeah, the cost would be it's 50 a month for 2 1-hour sessions, one on one with me that's fully customized to what it is you're wanting to work on. And that doesn't also include homework and exercises and questions throughout the month to help you with your homework. Ronaldez, hey man, you made it. Glad to see you, man. Let's see, dude. Yeah, the coral reefs here on Earth, they're having a rough spot. There's no doubts. Depends on how you want to say that one, Immortal, because I am into the whole ascent concept. I do believe there's many different paths to ascent. Um, Merging with our light bodies, this is a term I've usually seen on more right hand path focused. My path is definitely more balanced. It's more of a neutral gray area. So I am definitely into the whole ascent and rising above the mortal realm kind of concepts. Um, though I do so more through a more balanced, singular viewpoint of both sides. So I am down with it. I am all for it, but I do think every practitioner needs to find their own path there. I don't think there's one true, singular, only path. And from what I've noticed through the multiverse and my travels, that does indeed seem to be the case. Because you talk to any of the ascended masters, they will actually tell you the same thing. Which makes it sad that we see so many spiritual teachers trying to pigeonhole students these days. I guess one of these days I'm gonna have to try those lessons, huh? Uh, well, Luna, that we can get you on the list. We can get you on the list. Let's see. What's the most beautiful thing I've seen in the astral realms? Ooh, man, I don't know. That is hard. You know, there's so many different things flashing through my head right now. I really don't think I could pick just one. Hmm. No, I'm that's a little hard to pick. Some of the big ones that pop up is the wilderness of Vanaheim. It was absolutely gorgeous. In some of the higher realms, it's accessible only through soul travel. There is a crystalline city, and the architecture, the structure um, of that city was just absolute gorgeous. Absolutely. And then there is a city that is in the primal realm of water that is built down of stone and coral and luminescence. And I think it's just my love of the ocean, but that structure, that city itself, breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. Let's see, Animal Man, how long did it take you to go to your astral sanctum? Animal Man, it has been a long time, so I'm not sure I could give an accurate time frame. I know I started with some issues getting into trance work, which astral sanctum is a form of trance work. But when my teacher originally talked to me about astral sanctums and using it to overcome the dropping feeling that most people associate with trance work, um, My visualization skills were pretty good, so it took me a few tries to get into my astral sanctum, and the more I worked with it, the more tangible it got. I think what a lot of people run into is they expect their astral sanctum to be as tangible as the world around them right now at all times, and that's not really the case. Most people, if you actually can visualize your astral sanctum at any level of visualization, and you're doing so in meditation, you will be there. Um, and expecting like massive mastery level results before you consider yourself in your sanctum is often most people's problem. They're trying too hard because most of my students, once they understand that any level of visualization, even if it's just the image constructing in the blackness of your mind, can actually be enough to shift you over to that state. Um, they have success very quickly. And then from that success, they continue to practice and continue to build to the point where everything becomes very real, very tangible, and much, much easier to see. And they do so through daily practice and spending time in their sanctums. Lauren, I would have to double check on my Eastern mythology. It's not one of my stronger areas. So I don't want to misquote that at all. But the summary that I could give is in most cases, Eastern mythology, dragons are viewed as benevolent. They're very helpful, they're wise. In most of the mythology, they are viewed very much in the same way that most other cultures view deities. Hope that's helpful, Lauren. Lauren, well, good news. If the rune class actually works out well, we're hoping to do more Norse videos, talk about the different realms, and potentially even visit them. We just got to find out whether we can actually do the journey work class in the YouTube fashion, or if I have to put it on the school. But we will be doing a journey work class. Um, and we are wanting to do a class on the 9 realms, but I'm actually considering doubling them up because the 9 realms are really great for starting to work with journey work and other things. So we're weighing that. If we don't do it with just the journey work, then we will be doing a Norse 9 realms class in and of its own very soon. And I am planning to talk more on the 9 realms on the channel in and of itself, and potentially even give sigils for accessing each individual 9 realm for those who's already started working with their astral sanctum and their journey work. But Vanaheim is beautiful. The name of the city, Naveed, I do not know. You have to access it. You will have to actually pass out of the astral realms and out of the limits of astral travel. And you would have to leave the causal plane into the energetic and mental planes. As to its exact access points, I only know of one, and you have to go through the Akashic records. You go there, and then there is a temple. Well, the access point I always use, I would say it's on the right, but technically I don't really know its compass coordinates. But there is a very large white and silver temple to the far end of the Akashic records. You head outside the Akashic records, and you will see the temple off in the distance. If you can gain access into that temple, you can use that temple to gain access upward to a higher plane that will access, and you'll see the Crystal City off in the distance. That is the best directions I can give at this time and place. Because I didn't actually expect to have to give directions. Trance work does sound difficult, Tara. It's not as difficult as most people think. Like I said, the big one is most people get into that meditative state, they start sinking into that trance, and something startles them, or they feel that falling sensation and they snap out. So they come back to a meditative state and pull themselves out of the trance state. Which is one reason I do recommend the Arcane Sanctum so much. If you can construct an Arcane Sanctum, as we cover in the Arcane Sanctum video, I've even heard some people refer to it as a mind palace. And yeah, actually, even a mind palace. I know a individual who studies neurology and magic, and he's done the mind palace exercise with people who don't study magic, and he's done trance work with an Arcane Sanctum. And he's noticed that even those who don't know what they're doing when they set up the mind palace concept from more psychology based, when they get deep into it, when they really get deep into it, they automatically slip into a trance. And the Arcane Sanctum people are slipping into the exact same trance. So he tested this by giving them a little training in meditation and telling the people doing the mind palace to get into a deeper meditation as they do the mind palace. What he found when he done this is the people doing the mind palace automatically slipped into that trance instantaneously, just like the astral sanctum. So literally, if you can construct this thing in your mind in a meditative state, you're going to slide right into that trance and be in your astral sanctum, no problem. Which it was a fascinating finding, and I'm really trying to talk this guy into publishing. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, tarot dragons have the ability to travel to any of the realms. I've not found a realm where dragons are not actually welcome. The draconic world, in and of itself, is one massive realm. Um, I I know when you look up in the sky, you'll see planets and stuff. So I do have to say, I assume there's other planets, not just this within the draconic plane. I personally have not visited any of them. I don't know if they're inhabited. I don't know how they're used. But the main plane where everyone first comes in, it is a massive plane, and it is where the bulk of the dragons actually live. At the center of it, they do have kind of a trade center city hub where entities from all over different realms come and trade and speak with the dragons and everything. And as you get further out from that city, the draconic plane becomes more and more wild, more untamed. And the further from the city you get, the older the dragons get as well. But most people are not recommended to travel in these areas unless they understand the rules, because dragons can be very territorial. And if you even passing through there, just passing through a territory, if you break a rule, you're fair game. They can swat you down like a fly. And the dragons aren't the only thing in those realms. And even the dragons themselves will tell you there's things out there that can threaten a dragon. So you got to be careful. Tegrod Mortal, do you think our multiverse exists inside a divine dragon? No, I do not, actually. Our multiverse, I do not believe exists within inside of another being. I do not. And the main reason for this is one of the rituals that the dragons taught me is one that travels outside the gates of reality itself. It actually exits our multiverse. And though there were dragons on the outside of that multiverse, more specifically the ones that are known as the dragon and the dragoness, um, I really hope to one day that they give me a better name to call them. And it is true that their size is beyond massive. They would not fit within the reality as we know it. Our reality and our multiverse does not exist inside of them. In the literal term. So, no, I don't personally believe that. There may be practitioners and spiritualists and even religions out there who do view it that way. And I'm not going to say they're wrong because everyone does have their personal views and understandings and interpretations of different things that they've gained a gnosis on, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah, the that start kind of feeling that you get when you're kind of daydreaming, that is um, it's very similar, and in many cases, you're accidentally slipping into a trance. A daydream is more of a trance state than a sleeping state. So that makes sense, Tara. Let's see, Naveed, why is Tiamat special compared to other dragons? That would entirely depend on what you mean by special. I mean, from my viewpoint, I love her to death. She's a wonderful dragon to work with. I don't put her on any pedestal or consider her special compared to any other dragon, personally. If you mean why is she treated different in like Sumerian mythology or Babylonian mythology, that is because that's how they chose to write her within their mythology. And they did choose to worship this chaos dragon and the part she played in shaping the physical realms. Um, but other than that, she's a chaos dragon like many others. I have been doing more work with her, and she is actually viewed as the chaos dragon of Earth, but more specifically, the Milky Way. She actually is her assigned station as a chaos dragon is the Milky Way galaxy. So that does give her, I guess you could say, some ranking in there. But again, I don't necessarily know that that makes her special in any way outside of that. But that is just strictly from that mechanical view. That's not to put down anyone's religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs, because when religion and spirituality come in, you have to look at it through that lens. Religion and spirituality deviate from the mechanical function, and they do really go into, well, we believe this, and they don't need any kind of gnosis or data to prove it. It's just this is what was written in our spiritual book, so we believe it. And I respect that, but I'm also not going to argue that, if that makes sense, because you can find plenty of records of angels and other entities, and then the Bible will say one thing and the other records disagree. And that's because there's a religious and spiritual differential there. And I am neither religious nor spiritual. Let's see what we got. Are humans allowed to visit their world? Yes, they have their guardian or co-mag friend with them. Yes, Tara. Actually, we will be discussing the Draconic Realms in either 102 or 103. I'm hoping it's going to be the 102 course. I'm even wanting to get the permission from the rulers to allow me to talk about the Draconic Realms more here on the YouTube channel. And yes, you do have to have a guardian and a co-mag and have good working friendships built with them before you can access it. And you need to have at least worked considerable time with the first 4 rulers. It's not an easy thing to get access to that realm, but it is accessible. So let's see here. Sir, I've messaged you on Instagram. Please check it when you get the time. I will try to do that. I'm actually, I'll be honest with you, I forgot I had an Instagram account. I tried to do the social media when we set this channel up. Everybody's like, Drake, you got to have your social media. You got to have your social media. And so many of the accounts that did absolutely nothing for so long. So, um, yeah, my goofy hind end just went and forgot about them. But I will definitely try to pop over there and hopefully I remember my password. Um, so yeah, I'll pop over to check that. Thanks for letting me know. I do apologize for that. I need to probably delete those accounts, or try and find a use for them because, like I said, no one really seems to be accessing them except on random occasions, and I don't check them, so I don't know. Like, I've completely considered deleting. I think I have a business page on Facebook. I considered deleting. The Working Dragon Mystic private group seems to be doing well, but I don't know about the other one. Um, So right now, the Discord and the YouTube communities really seem to be the most active, especially now that we have these live streams going. This seems to be where most people want to come and ask me questions. So those two seem to get the most attention. And honestly, Discord is the best way to get in touch with me outside the live streams here. But I do understand not everybody wants to talk in public here about what they got going on. I don't blame you. Let's see. So I will be sure to try and check that tool. Let's see. When you saw or met the dragon and dragoness, are you able to describe what they visually looked like? In as much, oh, man, that's a tricky one. No, that is hard because anytime I tried to look at them in their entirety, my brain was having trouble processing that. It literally was because the ritual to even get there was oh so taxing on me. It's a ritual I've only managed to do 2 or 3 times. And every time I've done it, it's been massively taxing. And it usually takes me a few weeks to recover from the energetic tax on it. So trying to perceive them fully has also been taxing, and being in their presence is taxing. Um, I can say I feel one of them tends to be more Eastern shaped and the other more Western shaped. Um, their colors, I don't even, my brain doesn't even want to put a color to it. Everything feels like a black and white TV show. Um, so I wouldn't even begin to know to guess what colors to put with them. So I apologize. And when I say their shapes, that is very generic in term because there seems to be very deep. There were a lot of deviations that I really can't place. So I'm actually still personally learning on that one. That's actually the area where I'm really pushing and taxing myself a lot there. Terror. That's where a lot of my dragon magic research is currently. So I am trying to fill in more details as best I can and even adapt and grow so that that particular ritual isn't so taxing for me. Which really threw me off because I have done a lot of taxing rituals, but that one, oh, which that one you have to be able to do full evocation, not of one entity, but 10. You have to maintain 10 full evocations at the exact same time of extremely massively powerful entities before you can even pass through that gate. And you have to maintain that energetic surge the entire time that you're on the other side of the gate. If you falter on any of those, the entire ritual collapses. So it's a very taxing ritual. Let's see, Immortal. Do you think there's a reality beyond light and darkness? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In my work through soul travel, moving through even the mental plane is an entire plane of pure thought. There's nothing else, just pure thought. There is no light, there is no darkness, just pure thought. Um, and to the magicians I've talked about who's worked through soul travel and moved to even planes higher than that, Planes of light and darkness, again, those are concepts that don't really hold up the closer and closer you get to those higher planes and to potentially what people say is source energy. So, yeah, those concepts would actually fall away even as you move through there. So whoa, okay, we jumped. Let's see, Lauren, which advice would you give someone trying to get into beginner trance state? A couple more pagan friends of mine were wanting to try, but they don't have a solid meditation practice or sanctum. Well, Lauren, honestly, the first thing you need to do is I would work on your meditation. And what I would do is I would do a 9 count meditation practice. Um, you can work up from 4. Well, actually, you could even do this with a 4, but breathe in for a count 4 and breathe out for a count 4. Now, the only thing that differs between the 4 count and the 9 is the same breath is being taken because you want to breathe in deeply but comfortably and breathe out comfortably. But is how fast you count. The point is you're getting a rhythmic count. That rhythm will help you sink deeper into the meditation. And as you sink deeper into the meditation, you can let your counting draw off. And you do want to build up your meditation practice. You need a good, solid, reliable meditation practice to transition over into trance. And once you do that, you can also work on building your sanctum. If you can construct a sanctum in deep meditation, you'll automatically shift over to a trance state. Your other option would be to use some form of intoning or chanting to help get you into a trance. That's probably the most iconic is Om. Om does help increase the energy body as well as help the mental facilities in the third eye open. I think that's actually one we cover in the meditation course even. But since they're Norse practitioners, I would actually recommend Anzus. I'd actually recommend visualizing Anzus in their mind and chanting its name over and over and intoning that because that is the rune of the mind and the rune of Odin, which Odin is perhaps known as one of the best shamans. So yeah, that would actually be a good rune to help intone for that trance work as well. Let's see, Terror, by the way, I recently signed up for the Dragon Magic course. Thank you for putting all the work into putting it together. Oh, no problem, Terror. Thank you very much. I'm glad you signed up and thank you. Mugs up to you, my man. I hope you enjoy it. I will say this, take your time. Do not rush through it. Take your time. And if you haven't completed it when 102 drops, don't worry about it. Take your time. 102 will be there when you're ready for it. If you haven't already, jump in the Discord. Let me know what you think of it, man. Appreciate it. Let's see. You can use Twitter to advertise your new vids, your live shows, and also any dragon art may help gain more followers. I do occasionally post over on the Twitter account we have. There's a few live streams. I do not know why, but Twitter took it down. I do not know what I did wrong. They said it was a violation of practice, and it's like, it's just the thumbnail of a dragon drinking coffee. How's that a violation? Are dragons not allowed to drink coffee on Twitter? I don't know. So I hesitate to post on Twitter. I'd feel better if I knew what I did wrong. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. So we will see. Let's see, sir, is your third eye active? I mean, can you read someone's past lives and help them in knowing their guardian dragon or guardian angel? Yes, my third eye is active. I tend to steer away from past lives because more people get lost in their past lives and forget to focus on the present. Very, very little can actually be gained from the past. There is some knowledge and everything, but I've seen way too many people just start rooting around in the past and exploring the past and completely forget to live in the moment. And there's no growth in that. And the whole point is to grow. So I tend not to do a lot of past life work for that reason. As to knowing the guardian angel, I have helped people with that before. Guardian dragons. The way the guardian dragons, if I was to help someone, I would put them through the guided meditation, which is on the channel, because your guardian dragon and you, that is something that is very unique. That's not something someone else can tell you. And this is an issue we've run into because we do have a lot of spiritualists and mediums that are saying, this is your dragon. And there are dragons that hang around us. They befriend us. They even look after us. But they are not guardian dragons. They're just dragons that have taken interest in humans. Nothing wrong with that. And that's the dragons they're identifying, which is a drastically different thing than a guardian. So I try not to do that because if you're not willing to do the meditation and reach out and get to know the guardian dragon and build that relationship with it one-on-one, then dragon magic's not really a path for you, because without the skill set in order to build those friendships and communicate and work with the dragons, you're not going to be able to build the friendship required to do dragon magic. That's one reason I did start this channel, was so that we could work on meditation techniques and trance techniques. And of course, the guardian dragon ritual and the guided meditations available here on this channel. And then once you meet your guardian dragon, you actually need to work with them daily. So dragon magic's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. And practically everyone who doesn't get results, the first question I ask them is, how much time do you spend with your guardian and your co-mag? And inevitably, I've not ran into it once where they don't spend time with one or the other, or even both. I actually know someone they spend no time with their guardian or co-mag at all, but they expect to work with the rulers. And the rulers just are like, that ain't happening. That ain't how this works. Let's see. Drake, how many spells have you written in your life? Dude, I lost count, really. I occasionally keep spells that work really, really good, but most of my workings, since I do a lot of traveling, I don't have my books with me, so I'll just create a spell on the fly as I need to. That's kind of why I love the framework and understanding the science of magic. If you understand the science, you don't need a spell book. And that's kind of more what I go to, Austin. But honestly, of the ones I have wrote, I really have kind of lost count. Let's see, Lauren, awesome, thank you. More on religious side. They're more on the religious side of magic, so talks of sanctum usually go right over their head. Oh, typical Norseman. That I suggest. Yeah, in that case, work with them with runic meditations like that Golder meditation. And we should be getting to runic meditations in the YouTube rune class here very, very soon. So that will also help with them, Lauren. So there should be some demos in there that can help with a lot better too. Anna, will dragons work with people that are Catholic? Absolutely. Dragons do not care about your religion. In fact, they will work with Archangel Michael because there is a big belief that Archangel Michael kills dragons and he is the dragon slayer. However, the dragon that Archangel Michael is associated with fighting is the dragon within the Christian mythos, which is actually also thought to be Lucifer or the devil. That is not the same as an actual dragon. So yeah, dragons will work with Catholic practitioners easily. In fact, I know several Catholic practitioners do practice dragon magic as well as their Catholic practice. Let's see. Luna, did you post pictures without the hat? I bet that was the problem. I post pictures. That might have been it. That might have been it, Luna. Let's see here. I remember you saying you may want to quit and delete Twitter, but if you change your mind, let me know because I'd like to rewatch you there again. Right now, so far, Tara, I have not deleted the account. So if you're following me, by all means do. And I will try to post more video links and stuff there because I do know a lot of people use Twitter and get notifications on their phone. So they might actually have notifications for Twitter on when they don't have YouTube notifications. So I will try to post more videos, links, and notifications and what we got going on there, Tara. I'll try and give it another go. I'm wanting to think it was just a mishap and a mistake, personally. Let's see. Whoa, we jumped again. And Peachy's reminding everybody to hit that like button. Yep, please do. We got 25 people in here and 8 likes. So if you haven't already, smash that like button. Let's see. Luna, Pinterest tore my Dragon Magic board to shreds. Much missing there, so I'm repopulating it. Luna, I was doing Pinterest for a while. I got like no hits on Pinterest. I am not a popular guy on Pinterest. But there were some really great boards in there. So when you get your board repopulated, let me know. I'd love to look at it. Again, if I can remember my Pinterest password. Tara, you don't need mastery of meditation. You just need a functional meditation practice. Don't try to search for mastery before you move on. You don't need mastery. If you can sit down and meditate for 5 or 10 minutes and do a good meditation for 5 or 10 minutes, you're solid. Go ahead and check out the Guardian Dragon ritual or guided meditation. And heck, even if you're not sure, try out the guided meditation, Tara, and you may find you get success with it. So let's see here, sir. Atula, I will try and check. I'm going like I think you were the one who mentioned it earlier. I will check my Instagram. If you emailed me, I'll see if it's there. I get a lot, and I do mean a lot of emails, so it can easily get lost in the shuffle. So I will check. Like I said, Discord is generally the easiest way to get a hold of me because that way it doesn't get lost in all the other email shuffles. But I also I'm limited in what I can and cannot help with in email and through messages. So it'll also depend on what the question is. If you're wanting me to tell you your guardian angel, that I do not do over internet services. I don't do that. I've even actually closed up my spellcasting work because I prefer to teach people to do for themselves than to have me do for them. I seek to empower you, not to have you rely on another. See, Joby, Drake, I commented about this on a video I want to ask. Is budding into meditation a thing Loki does? Really hard to barge in on me and other day. I'm pretty sure it was him. Yeah, actually Loki, he can do that. He's a prankster, he's a trickster. He likes to do things like that, so that's wouldn't be out of line for him. But I've noticed other entities too. If an entity wants to get your attention, you're actually more accessible during meditation. So a lot of entities will actually try to get your attention during meditation, not just Loki. But if you do feel it was Loki, it's very likely it was, and wouldn't be a bad idea to reach out to him, see what he was wanting. He might have a bit of wisdom or advice for you. Let's see. Austin, I am trying to get more evocation videos up. I have been absolutely swamped. We are trying to get through the holidays. I mean, yay. Which reminds me, everybody, don't forget we do have the 5,500 subscriber challenge that Lauren actually triggered. Thanks, Lauren. If you all can hit 5,500 subs on the channel by sharing the videos and the channel and sharing us on your social media and letting your friends know, then on the Christmas podcast or live stream, because it turns out I have a live stream on Christmas Day that I need to do, I will be dressing up as the Grinch. And my wife, oh yeah, she's already buying makeup and plotting and planning. She's got plans. In fact, last Friday after the stream, we had to sit down and watch the Grinch so she could get ideas. So she has great faith in you all getting to that number before Christmas. And for the artistic folks out there, don't forget we do have the artistic challenge thing going where you can enter your artwork for Yule. The motif should be Yule, the Wild Hunt, and the Working Dragon Mystic Channel. And enter that artwork at the Discord. There's an art challenge section there. Drop your artwork. And the winner will be picked after midnight on December 15th. And the winner will get their artwork put on the 2020 Yule coffee cup, as well as a coupon to get a discount on the coffee cup, so they can get their own coffee cup much cheaper than what the site will allow me to do it for everyone else. So if you haven't already, make sure you get your artwork entered into that, because the drawing will be happening. It closes midnight Eastern Standard Time on December 15th, and the voting will take place immediately after that. So, can you give us a preview on what types of summoning you are going to be talking about? I'm planning on trying to script the videos more direct as a framework for evocation and summoning work as a whole. I prefer to teach a frame system that can work on any path as opposed to a specific, if that makes sense, Austin. Animal Man asks, what position would I recommend doing trance work in? A comfortable one. The one that I do not recommend is laying down. You're going to fall asleep. Practically everyone I know who tries to do trance work laying down falls asleep. So I would say a comfortable one. I would even use a chair. I do not recommend sitting on the floor cross-legged or anything like that. Especially if you're not used to it, because your legs will fall asleep, they will start to ache, you're going to be uncomfortable. So you need something comfortable. I actually recommend a high back chair, like a computer chair like this, especially if it's got arms, because you can really sit comfortable, keep your back straight, and throughout the trance work, you're going to remain comfortable. And you're not going to have any joint issues or anything like that. You don't have to worry about sitting a special way, your legs falling asleep, none of that crap. So honestly, I would recommend sitting in a chair, especially starting out. Now, for those rare people who are totally okay sitting Seiza for hours on end, that would be fine. But outside Japan, those people are pretty rare. And from my understanding, they're even getting rare in Japan. So that would be my recommendation. I actually do keep a chair in my ritual areas because I do it myself. Many of you know that I do sit Seiza for some of my workings, which is something I've personally just trained myself for. But for long-term trance work, I still can't sit that way. I can't. My legs are not. No, I'm still not that flexible. So yeah, for those who have wondered, I would actually recommend a chair. And I do not recommend lying down again because most people I know fall asleep. You're welcome, Grinchy time. Yeah, Lauren, my wife is excited about your little idea there. Let's see. Are the nine realms holographic and beyond that is the real? They're not holograms, if that's what you mean. And if you're soul traveling there, they're as tangible and real as the real world is. So, I mean, they're not illusionary or holographic in any way, if that's what you're meaning. Tara, I'm too scared to use. Well, Tara, I'm actually blessed. We got a pretty good crew over on the Discord. I actually consider myself pretty blessed with the crew we got. We've only had one or two oddballs drift in. But I gotta say, the Discord group that's built up for Working Dragon Mystic, I'm I'm blessed. I'm blessed with that group of people, and they really do share their knowledge and help each other a lot. So for the Discord members that are here watching the live chat, y'all are awesome. I appreciate you. I remember when Ane, few of you have seen her here in the live streams. Many of you know her from Discord. Set that up because she set that up for me actually. I actually told her no one's going to sign up, no one's going to show up. Why would they? So the fact that these people have come in and built this wonderful community in order to help each other and be so friendly, I I wake up and I check Discord and I see these friendly people helping each other, and it just blows my mind. People, you all are so awesome. So I want to thank you all for that. That has been a blessing this year, and I'm really glad Ane didn't listen to me and set it up anyway, because if she'd listened to me, that wouldn't have happened. Let's see what I got here. You were featured there under Luna Cree's Dragon Magic. Oh, I'm on your board, Luna. That is awesome. Thank you. And Luna Kid. I will definitely be popping over there to check you out, Luna. Appreciate it. See what we got here. Okay, we are past the hour, so I'm going to try and finish up some of these questions here. We just jumped again, crap. And we will get ready to wind up a bit. Do remember, we got the 5.5K challenge. Very doable. We actually just passed 4,800, so that's far less than 1,000 to go by Christmas. And yeah, I get to dress up as this Grinch. My wife did say if you guys can hit it by the 23rd would be better. That way she can actually make plans to do my makeup. Lord help me. She's even been looking at fake fur. I'm hoping she doesn't find what she needs for the fur because that just sounds hot. Makeup's one thing. Fur, it gets warm. And also, if you do have an artistic skill or sometime, by all means, do enter into the mug contest. Y'all, every one of you artists out there, you amaze me with your works. So. Oh, yeah, immortal. It's beyond the third dimension and to the, but they also do have a third dimension reality of them, but they are also beyond the third dimension. It's hard to put in words. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see, Lauren. I'm not in the Discord too terribly much, but can confirm y'all are lovely. Oh, Lauren, that's sweet. And hey, I see you pop in there and say hi from time to time. I know you're not in there much. I know you're busy. That's cool. We still love you, Lauren. And well, you join us here on Fridays and Sundays quite often, joining our shenanigans up in here. So that's great. Let's see. Tara, you're going to be sexy as the Grinch, Drake. Oh, Lord help me. Well, let's hope I can pull that look off. Let's hope I can. Naveed, have you ever worked with Aphrodite? If so, what have you worked with her about? Honestly, I worked with her actually to help one of my students deal with issues of self-love. That was the big long-term thing me and Aphrodite worked on. She actually helped me a little on self-love at the time as well. She kind of snuck that in, which is understandable. But then when it came to self-love on a long term, I ended up working with a different entity. But Aphrodite did help me some with self-love as well, not just the working with the student. Immortal, are we the creator experiencing different realities? That's a tricky one, Immortal. There's a lot of people who definitely view that. And when you look at the laws of magic and the laws of infinite universes and the the law of personal universes, there is definitely the concept that we are our own individual creator of our own individual multiverse, and that those individual multiverses overlap, therefore sharing the experience. However, are we all fragmented pieces of a singular being that is the creator? That's debated. I personally do not think so. In my journeys through the multiverse, I have not found any singular thing to make me believe in one powerful, all singular source creator of everything, much less for us to be fragments or thoughts therein. I do understand that everything is connected and interwoven. I just do think that we're all part of that singular creator. If that makes sense at all, Immortal, and answers your question, I hope so. Because that is a big question. That's a huge question to try and unpack. Huge. We may try and unpack that potentially in another stream a bit more, or even might even do a video on that. Vanessa Empire. Ooh, I love that name, Vanessa. I don't know why. I've always liked the name Vanessa. Anyway, sorry, got distracted. Should I be concerned if Angus comes to work with me? I have a guardian, but I did not call him in. No, the rulers will occasionally do that, and they actually do like to take an interest in this world, especially the first four rulers. And Angus is definitely hyper, so he's big on doing random things like that. You really shouldn't need to worry about it. Just curious, just keeping an eye on you, just poking around, having fun. Pretty much standard English, really. So, no, Vanessa, you should be fine with that. Your guardian will make sure the energy stays balanced out. That's what the guardian's job is. And if you've already met your co-magician, he'll also help. But yeah, you don't need to worry about that. Angus is pretty good at minding his business. He can also be a lot of fun. I know I've been having really boring days and he just pops in, livens things up. But yeah, keep working with your guardian. And if you haven't, work on meeting your co-magician. Let's see. Let's see, Luna, don't be Crumpus. I've been accused of being a Krampus at Yule and Christmas a time or two. I really have. I've been accused of it. Though I do think I'm more of a Grinch than a Krampus, though I like to think I'm not necessarily that bad. I do enjoy the holidays. Tara, do you know if the Christian or Catholic gods are their own entities? Yeah, Yahweh slash Jehovah it's an entity. It's an entity you can work with and talk with. Um, I have spoken with the Christian God many times. I actually talk to Jesus still quite often, more than his father for sure. Um, and I even have worked with the Holy Mother, Mary. So yeah, they're definitely entities of their own. No, I personally wouldn't be concerned. I mean, if it's bothering you or interrupting your sleep cycles anyways, Tara, just do a simple cleansing ritual of some kind to run them off, or ask them to stop. Even most of the time, if you just ask them to stop, they will. As you open your arcane senses more and more as a magician, you're going to notice more and more things like that happen. It's pretty normal. It's not meant to be harmful or anything. Playful, maybe. But many of these entities don't understand we, a physical being, need sleep. So you kind of got to remind them of that from time to time. But nothing to worry about. Just remind them. And if they don't respect your space, drop a magic circle to keep them out, or do a simple Dragon's Flame ritual is a good one. So, all right, people, we are going to get ready to hop off here. Yeah, actually, Tara, both Jehovah and Yahweh are names for the Christian God. And he actually has many other names too that can be used, but those are probably the two most well known. So, all right, everyone, we are going to get ready to close up here because I actually got to go bug some people and have some fun. And actually, I need to eat dinner. I still ain't eat dinner yet. What kind of craziness is that? I haven't ate dinner. All right, Austin, peace out. Blood, peace. Oh, okay. Don't know if that's a mistype or what, Austin, but cool. Peace out, man. Take it easy. Everyone, thank you for joining us here on the live stream. This has been a lot of fun. Great way to start the weekend. Everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe if you can. Seriously, stay safe. But have a good weekend. Try to unwind, relax, have some fun, spend some time with those you care about, your friends and the likes. And I will see you Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Magical Coffee Hour, so we can end the weekend on a high note, hopefully. And if you are entering the art contest, be sure to get that in before the 15th. And be sure to share the channel and the videos that you think your friends and family might like, so that we can get those subs up, so that I have to be dressed up as the Grinch. So that should be interesting in its own right, because, well, y'all see how I dress. Bright red and green would definitely be a difference. Might even have to see if I can find a background to suit the occasion. I don't know. We'll see what we got. All right, everyone, you have a wonderful evening and a great weekend. Take it easy. Bye-bye.